since it is Pride Month and I missed last June, I have had this idea in my head for making little rainbows, and I am super excited to be sharing with you the video of how I actually made them. So I hope you guys really like this, and they didn't turn out quite as easy as I thought they would be, so that was a little bit tricky, but they turned out super cute. So I hope you love this video. This idea to make tiny little rainbows since last year, and something about making tiny little textured rainbows just sounded super fun. And I was like, you know what, I think I'll wait until Pride Month because that's like a really great opportunity to actually make them, and they go with the theme of the month. And so the other day I was like, ooh, I'm just gonna whip up some simple little rainbows. And surprise, surprise, they were not super easy. For some reason, they were not super easy. So here you can see I'm starting off with a cute little 4x4 canvas. And I have a palette knife, which I am going to decorate the back of in like a rainbow design. So basically that means I'm going to put every color that exists next to each other on the color wheel in the palette knife in order, if that makes sense. What I did was use one palette knife to place it on the other palette knife because I wanted to have a nice thick piece of paint so I could smooth it over the white paint. I thought that would just be like super simple. So you can see like I started off with kind of this shape, and then I was just gonna swoop and it was gonna look great, and it's super easy. So anyways, I tried to play around with it a little bit and it just got worse instead of better. So anyways, that was my first try. So I tried to fix it a little bit more, to no avail. So then I finally decided to just scrape it off and start over. And yeah, you can see I just kind of wiped it down a little bit, but that orange still had to be covered up in the end. So here I go again for attempt number 2. So when I'm rewatching these, I think what I would choose to do next time to get a better result. And this one's pretty good. You can see that one turned out really nicely, and I love the swoop at the end. And then a very satisfying thing to do was to carve out the edge. That was really fun. And adding that cloud was super easy, and I thought it made it look so cute. I think if I were to make these again, I would try a different shape for the white paint underneath, because I tried a lot of different versions of it for this video and I did struggle. So rewatching this, I'm kind of like seeing my mistakes a little bit better, or just seeing my experiences and kind of like learning from the experience. I thought maybe it was because I was using a palette knife to apply the paint. I don't see why that would make any difference, but I figured I'd try it. So I tried the brush work, but here you can see I just did a nice little, a nice dollop of white paint. And then you can see how this one turns out. Swoop. Now this one looks pretty good. This is, I think, one of my favorites. But what happened was you can see all that white paint that kind of squished out the top and it didn't get any color on it. So I went ahead and I carved that out, which is super fun. But I wish it would have been just a little bit more centered in the canvas because it is kind of feeling a little bit tiny and lopsided, but it's also kind of charming. So, I mean, I don't hate it. And you can clearly see the color stripes in this one, so I do think that's really cool. I think this is one of my favorites. And then I decided not to add a cloud to this one, just because I wanted to have a little variety, and I think that's really fun. So for this rainbow, I decided to once again try something new. I put in a lot of work on the front end here, and it did not work. I'm just gonna tell you now. Unfortunately, even though it looks really cool, how I just like carved off the edges and everything. But you know what? I kind of wish I would have thought to paint onto the white with a brush because I think that actually would have worked really well. In retrospect, I think that might have worked. But here you can see like it just, the color disappeared so quickly. And I'm not really sure why that is. I don't know. But I believe I ended up scraping this one off as well because it was just not working. All right, so we're gonna go in with color again. Yeah, I just couldn't fix it. So, swoop. I will scrape it off. So here you can see I'm going to the very tippity top of my palette knife with the yellow because I didn't want that white squishing over and just not picking up any of the pigment. And then of course I'm just going in with the rest of my colors just like I did for the other one and making sure that they're not bleeding too much into each other. This purple is a very strong color, so I made sure to just put a very thin stripe of that. And then I put a lot more of the blue and the pink in on each side. And you can see I'm skipping the green, and that's because the green was coming through really strong. And I actually don't need the green to be that strong because if you think about it, the blue and yellow next to each other, they're going to mix a little bit and they will become green. So I kind of played around with the shape of how I typed out the white paint like you can see here. I played around with the application, I played around with the coloring, like I just was experimenting. And it was really fun to be able to kind of try so many new things because lately I've been doing so many of the florals, which I loved, but I guess I needed to do something a little bit different because this was really, really fun for me. And look how cool that is. You definitely see the green there at the edge. So that is just super cool. And then adding these little clouds was just so fun and so easy. I mean, look at that. That is like the best little cloud ever. And it's just so textured, which I really love. So at first I was planning to just do 3 because I like sets of 3. But then I was kind of having fun and I was like, well, let me see if I can make one that's like super easy. So I made another one. Um, and you can see here, swoop. And already you can see those colors are really blending together. So this one's a lot more abstract. Kind of, some of the other colors, they have better stripes, which is what we think of when we think of rainbows. And this one looks a lot more abstract. I don't hate it though. Like, an abstract rainbow still works. So I like it too. It's like every single one of these rainbows has their own personality. And that's what Pride Month is all about anyway. So I think it just really fits the theme. Like, even though that's not really what I was going for, it's perfect. So I actually listed these on my website. So these are available right now. So you can head on over and shop from those. I also have commissions up. I am super excited. I finally opened up commissions. So if you have a beautiful photo that you would like me to recreate and bring your flower memories to life, I would love to do that. And then of course I just went in here with some blue and white for the background. The blue that I was working with was not very opaque, and as you can see, like I had some orange like in the background that needed to be covered. I have some different colors that just were bleeding outside of the rainbow lines. So I needed that white to cover it up, and the white is very, very good, very capable of covering other colors, which is really nice. And then I just mixed them together until I was very happy with this soft, warm blue in the background. And then here I was using more of just the blue, and you can kind of see the difference there. And then in a few seconds, I'm going to show you actually where I am adding the second coat. And in the second coat, I made sure that everything was that pale blue color because the dark blue was just too dark for me. I just didn't really care for it. But you can see how very, very cute these turned out. I just think they're so great. And yeah, they were really fun. They were a little bit frustrating because I did think that they would be super duper easy. So I probably would have made a lot more if they would have been like super enjoyable to create. But I did learn to respect the paint a little bit more and kind of work with it a little bit instead of just expecting that it's going to flow exactly how I want it to. But you know, it was really fun to try it and to struggle a little bit because I mean that's part of the process, isn't it? But I really love how they turned out, and I think they're super duper cute, and I always love experimenting and trying new things. If you have an idea of something I should try that I haven't tried yet, drop it in the comments below because I'm always looking for fun, cool stuff to make. And look at the end result. Like, they are so cute. Oh my gosh, so cute. And of course they each come with their tiny little easel, so they're just like extra cute. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you had a great time. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the month. Happy Pride, and please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and drop down in the comments and let me know what you want me to make in the future that I haven't made yet, because I always need new ideas, new inspiration. Bye, you guys.